तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा जय जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय जय प्रभुपादा जगधर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवते उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 13. So we'll see two verses today, verse 18 and 19, since purports are very small. So we'll chant the text 18 and we'll just I'll just read text 19. द्रुमेषु रंस्यन् सुतधारवत्सलो व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वलिं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः द्रुमेषु रंस्यन् सुतधारवत्सलो व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वलिं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः द्रुमेषु रंस्यन् सुतधारवत्सलो व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वलिं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः
व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वल्लीं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः द्रुमेषु रंस्यन् सुतधारवत्सलो व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वलिं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः द्रुमेषु रंस्यन् सुतधारवत्सलो व्यवायदीनो विवशस्वबन्धने क्वचित् प्रमादात् गिरिकन्दरे पतन् वलिं गृहीत्वा गजभीत आस्थितः.
What word meaning? Drumeshu, in the trees or in houses standing, like trees in which monkeys jump from one branch to another. Ramsyan, enjoying. Sutadara Vatsalaha, being attached to the children and wife. Vyavaya Dinaha, who is poor-hearted because of acting on the platform of sex desire. Vivashaha, unable to give up. Swabandhane, in bondage to the reactions of one's own activities. Kvachit, sometimes. Pramadat, from fear of imminent death. Giri Kandare, in a cave in a mountain. Patan, falling down. Valim, the branches of a creeper. Grihitva, capturing. Gajabitaha, being afraid of the elephant of death. Astitaha, remains in that position. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. When the living entity becomes exactly like a monkey, jumping from one branch to another, he remains in the tree of household life without any profit but sex. Thus he is kicked by his wife just like the he ass. Unable to gain release, he remains helplessly in that position. Sometimes he falls victim to an incurable disease, which is like falling into a mountain cave. He becomes afraid of death, which is like the elephant in the back of that cave, and he remains stranded, grasping at the twigs and branches of a creeper. Purport. The precarious condition of a householder's life is described herein. A householder's life is full of misery, and the only attraction is sex with the wife, who kicks him during sexual intercourse, just as the she-ass does her mate. Due to continuous sex life, he falls victim to many incurable diseases. At that time, being afraid of death, which is like an elephant, he remains hanging from the twigs and branches of the tree, just like a monkey. Text 13. Translation purport. Translation goes like this. O killer of enemies, Maharaj Raghugana, if the conditioned soul somehow or other gets out of his dangerous position, he again returns to his home to enjoy sex life, for that is the way of attachment. Thus, under the spell of Lord's material energy, he continues to loiter in the forest of material existence. He does not discover his real interest even at the point of death. Purport. This is the way of material life. When one is captured by sexual attraction, he becomes implicated in so many ways and cannot understand the real aim of life. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nate vidu swata gatim hi Vishnu. Generally, people do not understand that the ultimate goal of life. As stated in the Vedas, Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. Those who are spiritually advanced simply look to the lotus feet of Vishnu. The conditioned soul, however, not being interested in reviving his relationship with Vishnu, becomes captivated by material activities and remains in everlasting bondage, being misled by so-called leaders. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for regular Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Once again, thank you for giving me this opportunity to discuss Bhagavata and purify myself. So requesting all the devotees assembled here, your prayers and blessings so that I can do this service properly and continue doing the service and get myself purified. So as we're discussing, there's a discussion between Maharaj Rahugana and King Jadabharat. So Maharaj Rahugana accepted Jadabharat as a spiritual master and started inquiring from him various questions. So what is the goal of life and various questions. And Jadabharat started answering all those questions. But still Maharaj Rahugana looked little bewildered, confused. So he's going on with the chapter after chapter, going more and more in detailed, clear explanations to make Maharaj Rahugana understand better. So in the same way, so this particular chapter starts. So where Jadabharat explains or gives an allegorical story of a person entering a forest. So just like it's similar to how a living entity enters the material world and keep on suffering. So it's the same story related as a person enters the forest in search of some wood, some articles in for business and maintain his family members. So in all the verses we have seen, so we have seen how this person when enters the forest, he faces various difficulties, and it's told there are many animals which are there, jackals, tigers which are there. They hunt this person and they're compared to as plunderers. So plunderers exact meaning was given like a census. How the senses plunder this spirit soul of a body, taking away his energy. And these plunderers also compared to our family members, wife, children, how they plunder the home minister, the husband in various ways, and just goes on. And when at night he cannot get any shelter properly, he hears the sounds of the insects and feels the pain. So these insects, all these stuffs are compared, envious animals are like the envious people in the material world, always trying to trouble a person. So whoever wants to advance in any way of life, material, whatever, there are people always envious of that person who wants to pull them down, just like crabs. So in this way, he also suffers like this for the envious people. And this is going, struggle goes on. You able to hear me? Okay. So his trouble goes on. And this particular verses we have seen. So how he's completely getting attached to the sex life with his family, this wife, getting a kick like an ass, like how we discussed. How when a female donkey goes with a male donkey goes for the female donkey for sexual enjoyment and gets a nice kickings from that female donkey. So that's why he described as or a foolish, Muda. So Prabhupada gives in 7th chapter 15th verse of Bhagavad Gita. So Muda, so for this particular example, so Prabhupada gives example of this particular word Muda, foolish means an ass. So how is an ass? So donkey, so he is serving his master, taking all the burden on his back and going to the river where his master washes all the clothes and gets back onto him. So when a master leaves, goes for washing the clothes, so the donkey is free there, and he can escape from that place. So why this donkey serving with the master? Just to get a bundle of grass, that's it. But still he feels that grass is available everywhere, but still he feels, oh, if I don't serve my master won't give me this grass, so I have to serve him nicely so that I can get this grass. So after getting feed that grass, little amount of grass, he feels happy and gets the urge of having sexual intercourse with the female donkey, and he goes have nicely, but still that female donkey will kick him nicely. But we see in the material world how this material is also engaged in the same sexual activity again and again, but getting kicks from the opposite gender. So after reading these purports, so I got one more story in my mind, so which we have seen in our general Gita course. So the translation goes, we can just relate with the story which we are going to discuss. So part of the translation goes like this. Sometimes he falls victim to an incurable disease, which is like falling into a mountain cave. He becomes afraid of death, which is like the elephant in the back of that cave, and he remains stranded, grasping at the twigs and branches of a creeper. So just relating to this, there was a story in the Mahabharata, we heard number of times, so no problem repeating, because the Srimad Bhagavatam is a reminder, so to read again and re-establish ourselves that we are not this body, spirit, soul, so we have to engage in the service of the Lord and go back to the Godhead. So in Mahabharata there is a similar story, so where a person is in the material forest moving here and there, and suddenly elephant chases him, so he don't know where to go. He climbs the tree, and the elephant catches the holds of the tree and moves the tree, and he's moving here and there. Finally he is able to fall down, and suddenly he find the hold of some branch, and he stuck to that. And so much of struggle that one side elephant is there in the form of death trying to kill him, and there are two rats described on the branch coming towards eating that branch, so that after the branch it's finished by eating of rats, he will fall down. And these rats are black and white, and these rats are described as day and night, that is brightness and also dark. So in this way his lifetime is going on, days and passing away, but still he stuck to that. And down there is a lake, and the snakes are there waiting for this person to come down and devour him and eat, waiting for Mahaprasade Govinde, waiting for him. So in this way he is struggling a lot. He's understanding his precarious situation, that I am going to die very soon. At that point of time, from the honeycomb, one drop of honey falls and feels the tasty, very nice, and feels the joy. He forgets that is coming towards him. He just forgets. So that is the taste of sense gratification in this material world. So in that picture, so there is one more person who is there, that is the Lord, coming from the spiritual sky and giving his hand to help that living entity, but it doesn't look at the hand of the Lord, but still want to get the taste of that honey again and again. It just looks up there, forgetting to see the Lord. So that is what the next verse says. So because of being engaged in the sense gratification in the material world, day after day, night after day, he forgets the goal of attaining Vishnu or Krishna. So this is a description of the Grihamedi, how means those materialists who are householders not practicing devotional service. They are described as Yanmaitunadi Grihamedi Sukhamhi Tucham. Grihamedi. So Grihasthas engaged in own sexual activity, the family, maintaining the family life, forgetting the goal of life, that is Vishnu, and just engaged in material activities. So forgetting this goal of life, they are engaging in the material activities, thinking that they will be getting some happiness. Yeah, some happiness is there, but still that is followed by the distress. And want to get that happiness, what do? They engage is called activity called apavarga. So pavarga and apavarga, Prabhupada describes comes in the second chapter of first canto in a verse. So Prabhupada describes this pavarga. So there are terms pa, fa, bha, bha and ma. So pa means parishrama. There does hard labor, day and night, very very hard labor. In such a way that comes to the next letter, fa. Told phenila or foam. So they work so much that whilst they're sleeping in the night, the foam comes out from the mouth. And next what happens? So after doing, what is the use of all this doing all this stuff, finally not able to get the complete satisfaction of the heart. What happens? They're completely frustrated. So that is what we can see in the day-to-day life also. People go to some company, get the job, gets a placement, get the offer letter, they feel very happy. And after that, so job is not satisfactory. So now I have to switch another job. They have to switch the company. So first the company starts. They work in one company, this company is not good, and they switch the company. And later after switching number of companies, they feel bored or frustrated with the job. Now they want to switch the whole occupation also. Means they want to change the profile also. So yesterday we're doing this pamphlet distribution. So I met 2-3 people I was asking him what are they doing. So they told I'm in software and I want to search out for some business. And there was one person who was in this business, is working in By HG Systems, business development associates. He was telling I was frustrated with this, I cannot do this more, I want to switch to software. So they're completely, the end is frustration, that's it. And they may go on switching on, switching on the company, switching on the profiles. The end is just only frustration and nothing else. And after that what happens? Even after doing so many profile jobs, businesses, accumulating so many things, the end is fear. So I accumulated so much. What will happen later point of time? Will it remain with me all the time, or someone will come and capture and go away? Fear, B for bhaya. And after that, finally it ends up in yam, mrityu. So what is the use of making all this stuff after death? Everything is going away. So it's called pavarga. Pa, fa, bha, bha, ma. Fa means parishrama, hard labor. Fa, phenila or foam. Bha means vyartatha, that is frustration, completely frustrated and fearful. Bhaya. And finally death. So this is the course of action of every materialist or conditioned soul, not aspiring or looking for the goal of life to attain Krishna. So this is the thing. So I like to focus one line in this verse number 18. So where it says Vyavaya Dino Vivasha Swabandhane. So Vyavaya Dino, it means who is poor-hearted because of acting on a platform of sexual desire. So poor-hearted means weakness of heart. So the same thing we can see in Bhagavad Gita also. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, and Arjuna himself is telling that I am very weak-hearted. Hridaya dhaurbalyam, weakness of heart. So Krishna says in second chapter, Anarya justam aswargam. So Krishna is telling, after speaking all this stuff, Arjuna, so Krishna is telling, oh Arya. Arya means the one who knows the actual goal of life and who was progressing on that path. And Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, what are you speaking? So you are an Arya, you know the goal of life, and you're speaking this way, this is not proper, this is not right. So what is this all, the weakness of heart? So in Harinam Chintamani, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, so discussion, that is a discussion between the Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so regarding the holy name. And also discussion comes about bhakti. So while the discussion happening, so Mahaprabhu is asking Haridas Thakur about this, what is the goal of life, वगैरह वगैरह. So just like a discussion between Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord is Lord, but he wants to just test his devotees. So there is a discussion happened between Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when the topic comes of devotional service, the progress of devotional service, there are various stages. So in the various stage, one of the stages, Anartha Nivritti. So when that particular stage comes, they are discussing various anarthas which are there. So anarthas are also different kinds. So there's a discussion mentions hridaya dhaurbalyam, weakness of heart. This is one of the kind of anartha. And next asat krishna, aparats. So asat krishna means getting attached to the material stuff of this world. Similarly, in Madhurya Kadambini, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also quotes describing about these anarthas. So there, Vishwanath Chakravarti tells or makes the statement: this, like these anarthas which are there, are like clouds. So if you want to see the bright sun, we want to see, but if there are clouds come, it acts as an obstruction to see the bright sun. So similarly, these anarthas which are there, these are the obstructions for the living entity practicing devotee to see the bright sun of Krishna. These act as anarthas. And also depends how thick are these clouds. If the clouds are very, very thick, there is no question of any light, completely obstruction. So we cannot see Krishna also. So anarthas are, that covers, these anarthas covers the ability of a sadhaka to chant properly. This obstruct or they cover the ability to chant properly. And these anarthas are characterized on various bases, like what are their origin. So depending on their origin, they are also categorized, like the hridaya dhaurbalyam, asat krishna, aparats, and various ways. So if you see this particular term, vyavahaya dinaha, so means who is poor-hearted. So in the previous also verse also this is connected. So where it stays in the verse, the sloka comes. The word is arochayan, that is not being satisfied with. So weakness of heart, this is basically the term, the connecting thing. So weakness of heart. So what is this weakness of heart? Know the thing, we know the particular thing, this is what to be done, but still not able to follow that. Not able to follow that. So this is called weakness of heart. So this is a nice story, as all of us know. So this is a Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur story. So Prabhupada is once quoting. Prabhupada says, so there are two devotees who are practicing bhakti very nicely, intensely. Externally they are practicing very nicely. But still we can see that one devotee is progressing very fastly, very rapidly, in exponential way. But the other devotee is not able to do. So why is that happening? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says this wonderful story. So just like there is a marriage party. So the marriage party is going from one part, from their place to other place. So they have to cross the river. Say they board the boat and they started, it's in the night. They started the boat and the boat is running, means the motor is running, motor is going on. And it's night, everyone are asleep. And the motor sound is coming. Everyone are feeling that boat is going and everyone moving forward. And they slept very nicely. And they woke up in the morning and they saw they didn't move even an inch. They were still at that place only. They didn't move. Why? What is the reason? And they got to know the reason is the anchor was still there, stuck to the shore. So here the thing is, even though we are trying to practice bhakti nicely and want to progress more and more, the anchor was still stuck. What is this anchor? The desire of material enjoyment. Still that desire of material enjoyment is there in the heart. This is what stops a progressing devotee on the path of devotional service. And this is also, attachment to material stuff is also one of the offense, the 10th offense which we read. Having attachment to material things even after hearing the instructions number of times. This is also one of the offense. Now this thing is, the question may come, so how this hridaya dhaurbalyam, the weakness of heart, the attachment to material stuff, how it's coming? Well, I may tell that it's because of this person or because of this material world, the material nature, whatever. So I can just tell this, I can just put the blame on the others. But the thing is, the blame should be taken to oneself. The sloka says, the vyavaya dino vivasha swabandhane. This attachment is only because our own past activities. So no one should be blamed. No one should be blamed because of this hridaya dhaurbalyam. So this is only because of our past activity. Now this is the problem, fruitive activity, attachment is the problem. So the whole world engages in this activity, trying to solve these problems, understood the problem. The whole world is engaging in solving these problems. So what happens? By engaging in the activities of trying to solving the problems of life, they forget the goal of life. That is Krishna. That is what the next verse is. They just forget the goal of life. So all the living entities come into this material world, going against or rebellious of Krishna. Oh Krishna, I don't want to be with you. I want to enjoy without you, apart from you. So Krishna gives this wonderful opportunity to enjoy, to come into this material world and enjoy. So Prabhupada gives or makes this statement that this world, material world, is like a jail. So this jail is meant for reformation, not for enjoyment. So there is a nice story, right? I don't know exact term, Praharera Dhananjaya. So when Radhesham Prabhu came here, she was describing this story. So there is a father-in-law and there are daughters. So this father has 10 daughters. So these 10 daughters were given to various people, husbands. So once in a festival time, in a year, they come to father-in-law's house. Means that is wife's house. And all the 10 wives and their husbands also came for the festival to the father-in-law's house. And they're having a nice time. Days are passing, 2 days, 3 days. And few people left. Maybe 4 or 5. But their 5 other husbands and wives still are remaining in the father-in-law's house. And days are passing by, and this father-in-law is thinking, why these people are not going? Days are passing by. It has been a week, 2 weeks happened, 3 weeks happened, 4 weeks happened, 1 month happened. Still these people are not going. So the father-in-law is thinking, what problem is with these people? So then he got to know that he's making everyday feast, right? So they're enjoying the feast very nicely. So why do they go back? So let's enjoy this feast and enjoy here only. So what this father-in-law did, so in the feast, he reduced the salt. So after decreasing the salt in the feast, say, daughter, what kind of feast is this? What kind of food is this? So some of them got frustrated because of this. They got offended. So what kind of food they are giving me? So I'll not stay here. I'll leave. Just go. So some people left. And later still some people are staying. Some husbands are staying in the father-in-law's house. And the father-in-law is not able to understand what's wrong with this? What's wrong with these people? I'm reducing salt, everything. Still they are not going. And in this way, the father-in-law is making number of attempts to drive them away. It's a normal culture. So all the family members, that is son-in-law, along with their wives, they come stay for some time, maybe 2-3 days, max a week. And they go back. This is a culture. They cannot stay here for the long time. That is not a proper culture. That's not proper culture. But these people are still staying. And this father-in-law is trying his best to drive them away. Just like material nature strives her best to drive the spirit souls, conditioned spirit souls away from this material world. So he's trying. But still this Dhananjaya, named Dhananjaya, is still there. This one son-in-law is still staying there. And is sleeping nicely even after doing so many attempts to make him go away. So finally he thinks, this is not the way. So when the Dhananjaya is sleeping very nicely on the bed, he takes the stick and beats him nicely. So finally after getting beatings nicely, he just goes away from their place. So this is the same condition of a living entity in the material world. So here the father-in-law is compared to material nature, and this Dhananjaya compared to the spirit soul in this material world. So this father-in-law is trying his best to drive away this Dhananjaya away from a home. But still he's trying to adjust himself. Salt nahi hai, theek hai. No worries, I'll put water with some sabji, I'll take it. So trying to adjust the condition and wants to stay here. But this father-in-law is helping the son-in-law to go away from the place. Similarly, the material nature is helping the living entity to just get rid of this material world with the Trishul. So there are 3 things which are there. 3 means 3 miseries, 3 fold of miseries. Adhyatmika klesha, Adi Bhautika klesha, and Adi Daivika klesha. So the miseries by the natural calamities or by the demigods, miseries of one's own mind and the body, and the miseries of the other living entities. And Durga Devi is trying her best with this Trishul to drive away the living entity away from this material world. But still the living entity wants to adjust the situations and wants to stay in this material world. So what is the root cause here? The material desire to enjoy here. So even after starting practicing bhakti, still that attachment is there. So this is called Hridaya Dhaurbalyam. Hridaya Dhaurbalyam. So different people have different addictions. So but still here Jadabharat is talking to a Rahugana, Maharaj Rahugana, who is a family householder. He is talking about focusing mainly upon the sex life. So people have various addictions, and mainly it is described about the sexual attraction. So here the analogy of monkey is given. How monkey having sex intercourse again and again, going from one tree to another tree. So living entity also strives here only, having that sexual desire in the heart. I want to have sex. This is a sexual attraction that stops. So what is the solution then? So as we are discussing, coming to the point, the material world is compared is like a jail. So people are there here not just to continue. So jail is meant for the transformation. So this material world is meant for transformation. So one has to transform himself and go back to the Godhead. So Prabhupada, the solution is this. Prabhupada has given us such a wonderful process of now with the bhakti, chanting the glories of the Lord, preaching activities, everything is given. This is the only solution and nothing else. And all of us, after practicing for a long time, we have seen some changes in our day-to-day life. Our anarthas are reducing, offense is reducing, material desires reduced to a great extent. Means we can feel, we can feel our experience, our intelligence also says, this is a perfect, genuine process which is there for me to progress on the path of bhakti. But still, I am lingering around few attachments here and there. Little attachments are there. I understand this is the best process. I know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is all merciful. Bhakti is all powerful. If I do practice nicely, I can easily get out of this attachment. But still, that attachment is there. That we are lingering around that attachment. And this attachment is called this Hridaya Dhaurbalyam, weakness of heart. So what is the term used here in the translation? Unable to gain release, he remains helplessly in that position. So what does it mean? Unable to gain release means I don't want to let it go. I don't want to get it go. Unless this unable means I don't want to let it go. So I can't means want. I won't. It means I won't. Won't means I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up this attachment. And if we say I cannot give up, it's impossible. Prabhupada says impossible is in a fool's dictionary. So it's possible. The only thing is the willpower is lacking, the strong willpower. Can we tell that we are not willing? No, we are willing. That's why we are progressing. But this willpower is not so strong. The problem is here. Will is sufficiently there, but not sufficiently strong enough to get out of this attachment. Will is strong, but the flesh is weak. Some may say. But the spirit is willing, but how much it's willing? So is it sufficiently willing? The determination power is there to get out of this attachment. So that is where the question mark comes. So this is the lack of resolve, lack of determination, lack of willpower, lack of surrender, lack of taking shelter of the Lord. As we told, bhakti is very powerful. Krishna is all merciful. If we practice very nicely, it is short process. We can get out of this attachment. But still that attachment, something or the other, either gross or subtle, I get attached to this stuff. And I don't want to give up it. That is what the main cause is. So Krishna is giving us, you get attached to the spiritual energy. But living entity, no, I don't want to get attached to this spiritual energy. I want to get attached to this material energy. I think it's in Mayapur 2019. Mayapur Yatra, so one sannyasi came, so he was giving a discourse. So I was telling how living entity is attached to Maya. So we made a nice activity. So 3 devotees are there. So one devotee is Maya, one devotee is spiritual energy or Bhakti Krishna, and one devotee is acting as the practicing sadhaka devotee. So Maya, so Krishna is holding a one devotee's hand and trying to pull him towards him. And Maya is also on the other hand. But here Maya is not holding the devotee's hand. Devotee is holding Maya's hand. And both are pulling each other. Here Krishna is pulling this side. And Maya is not pulling, but devotee is holding that Maya's hand and telling, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me. But actually Maya is not holding his, devotee is holding the hand of Maya. So it was very graphical, very nicely described. So this is how a living entity holds the hand of Maya. Maya is trying to push us, drive away from this material world. But still a living entity, I want to attach to Maya, I want to enjoy this material world. So I want to don't want to go away from this material world. But Krishna on the other side is trying to pull. But we are not looking at Krishna, but I am looking at Maya. Please don't pull. Doing something else and telling something else. Krishna, I want you, but we are not looking at Krishna. Pulling the hand of Maya. So very nicely described. So here the Hridaya Daurabalya means the attachment to the material stuff. We know the thing, I want to give up, but still the attachment is there in the heart. I don't want to give up. So there the main thing is the willpower which is there. And after this, what happens? After engaging so much in the sexual activity, the translation goes like this. Unable to gain release, he remains helplessly in that position. Sometimes he falls victim to an incurable disease, which is like falling into a mountain cave. He becomes afraid of death, which is like the elephant in the back of that cave. And he remains stranded, grasping at the twigs and branches of a creeper. Thus, under the spell of the Lord's material energy, he continued to loiter in the forest of material existence. He does not discover his real interest even at the point of death. Very, very interesting things. Even at the point of death. We know the famous story of Akbar and Birbal. So Akbar is telling, this point of death, this sexual desire will go away with the time when a person becomes old. When the body limbs are not supporting, automatically one can give up this sexual desire will go away. And Birbal is telling, no, it's not so, no sir, it's not possible. And Akbar is not listening. So Birbal told, okay, let me show you a real time example. So what he takes, so Birbal takes Akbar to a hospital where one old man is about to die. And he tells, Birbal tells to Akbar, please bring your younger daughter also. And he brings. And the old man is about to die. He knows that he is about to die. And both of them enter the hospital looking at the old man. So when Akbar comes, he enters the room. So this old dying man is looked at him, turned his face. And Birbal also came, turned his face. When Akbar's daughter came, so his eyes were stuck on that lady. And when Akbar is trying to pacify this old person, okay, no worries, everyone has to die, vagera vagera. He's trying to satisfy this person, solace this old dying person. But still this old dying person is not looking at Akbar. The emperor is standing in front of him and is talking to him. He's not looking at Akbar, but looking at the young girl. Then after the whole incident, then Birbal is telling, to Akbar, have you observed this? He's just looking at the girl, your daughter. So it's proved, this cannot be, this material desire or sexual attraction cannot be removed even at the point of death. If one is not intense in bhakti. So what is the solution? The only solution is this. Practice of intense devotional service. So this male and female attraction is very, very strong. Very, very strong. Very difficult to remove it. Even if it's in our day-to-day life also. So people know this attraction is very strong. So that's why they also use this in advertisements. So these are the 3 main things: children, animal, and sex. These are 3 various categories of advertisement. Some advertisement is there when a naked female, half naked female is standing and showing some product, and people go and buy that product, looking at this. That lady who is there, she is poor, she wants some money, she is doing so. But these foolish people will be attracted to that. So in this way, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. This is the bounding thing in this material world, and people take advantage of this and make a nice marketing strategies as well. As I was telling, so the solution is getting strength in devotional service. There is a weakness of heart, not able to give up this desire of sense enjoyment. So now the thing is, where I'm weak now, so I want to get some strength. So where can I get that strength? That is strength we can get in the devotional practices, intense practice of devotional service, especially in chanting the holy names of the Lord. So when we chant attentively, so this anarthas which are there, that can be eradicated. So that is what the first two words of Chaitanya Shikshashtakam says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So when we chant nicely, so what happens? The dirt on the mirror of material attachment, that will be removed. That will be removed. Shravanam and Kirtanam. And Prabhupada gave us a wonderful process of wonderful devotion service, and also the preaching engagements. So Prabhupada is very fond of numbers. So whenever devotees come and tell, Prabhupada, we have distributed a number of books, Prabhupada will be very, very happy. And Prabhupada will tell, so what next? Next is double it. So Prabhupada likes the numbers. It doesn't mean just the activity, but also the mood behind it. Increasing the number of centers, we are increasing the number of book distribution scores, everything is there, but in a proper mood. So when we have a positive attention of devotion service, increasing the numbers with the proper mood, so what happens? We are completely engaged in that service. So on the other way, what happens? The negative attention, that is the material desires, will be gradually reducing, slowly and slowly. Still I have that material attachments. Why? Because I have faith that I can get some happiness from this particular engagement of material activity. So that's why this still attachment is there. So to get rid of this, what to be done? So one thing is philosophical understanding, having that complete unflinching faith on the scriptures. So Bhagavatam says clearly, 126, Savai pumsa paro dharma yato bhakti radokshade ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The complete satisfaction of the heart comes only by rendering the devotional service to the Lord constantly without any motive. So if I can have this complete faith on this particular verse, even though we may get some material desires, still no, Shastra says this and Prabhupada is telling is this. So when that complete faith and conviction, if I can follow this, I can get the result for sure. So in this way we can come out of this Hridaya Daurbalyam, weakness of heart. And also following the process of all what Rupa Goswami gave in the following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. So Nectar of Instruction very nicely says, so what are the do's and don'ts in devotional service? So we have seen from past few weeks, Prabhuji was very nicely describing. So we have seen the don'ts, Atyahara Prayasascha, Prajalpo Niyamagraha, Janasangasya Laulyancha, Shadbir Bhaktir Vinashasi. So these are the 6 things which destroy the bhakti. So not doing that. And simultaneously do. So what are the don'ts? Utsaha, Nischaya, Dhairya, Tat Tat Karma Pravartana, Sangatyaga, Satyavritti, Shadbir Bhakti, Prasidyati. So do's, following do's and don'ts very nicely. Having the goal in life that I want to attain Krishna Prema and nothing else. And having that complete faith in Krishna consciousness, complete faith on the scriptures and the words of the spiritual master. So when a devotee does this very nicely, and the short process, that Hridaya Daurbalyam, the weakness of heart, the desire to enjoy will be eradicated with time. So with this I would like to conclude today's discussion. If there are any questions, we can discuss. I think 3 minutes left. Can we take few reflections, please?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for nicely describing Hridaya Daurbalyam. And it's very nice to note that This material world is meant for transformation of the heart. And this is what we are meant to do here in this material world by rendering devotional service. And rendering pure devotional service is the ultimate solution for everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you for the nice class where you mentioned that how this weakness of the heart makes us do things even though we know they are not correct, we should not do, but still we are forced to do such things. And this is all due to attachment, the desire for material enjoyment. And as you gave that example of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the example he used to give of that marriage party, that unless and until we let the anchor go, we won't be able to move ahead. So we have to give up this desire by practice of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the nice class. So we saw that from that story of father-in-law that how material world is always kicking us not only to make us miserable but to send us to the spiritual world. Because we saw that example of that Dhananjay. He was not going even though so much miseries were inflicted upon it, and finally he had to beat him with the sticks. And then that is the condition. We are being beaten by so many, like 3 kaleshas are there, and the problem of birth, death, old age, disease, all these are inflicted upon us so that we can finally go back to God and understand our miserable position and go there and take eternal position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you for nice class, Prabhu. So you told like the desire for material enjoyments is that you gave the example of like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Swami Maharaj. So like somehow or others there will be some tinge of desires for this material world. For that only we are suffering. And also you told like for that how to solve these issues, only that Sravanam Kirtanam only eradicate this dust. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro. So you speak about like one kind of anta is weakness of heart, and they are like a cloud which obstructing the bright sun, which is Krishna. And if that is thick, then we cannot see completely Krishna. So, and weakness of heart means like we know the things like this is correct and this is wrong, but still we are not able to follow that. So that is weakness of heart. And you show that with example of your Mayapur Yatra one. So like we are saying to Krishna like I want to come to you, but still we are holding the hand of Maya and like that one. So like and if we are not able to give and we are saying it is impossible, we are lacking so many things like determination, willpower, surrender to Krishna. And the solution is intense bhakti and with Aituki Apratiyata and following the do's and don'ts and the faith on Krishna, and these are the things. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. So, because we are attracted to the drops of honey, we are not able to see the hand of the Lord. And similarly, like we are holding the hand of Maya and we are asking to leave. So, by understanding the philosophy and studying the scriptures nicely, we can get rid of Arudya Devarubali. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you for nice class, Prabhu. You gave so many examples, nice example that you told that in Anartha Nivritti there are 3 kinds of like weakness of heart, then Asat Krishna, and you gave the example of that people are going to marriage and they stuck in that boat only, and that stock is desire to enjoy this material world. So that's why we are not progressing in Krishna consciousness, and we should try to and whenever the problem comes we should blame ourselves, and we should think that because of our past activity this is my karma only I am getting. And bhakti is all powerful, still we are not progressing, means we have some attachment here, and that to get rid of this attachment is need strong willpower. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for getting this. I have articulated because of my words. This is a very, very good thing in this class. Because of mercy of my previous spiritual master and the Lord. I must speak all this stuff in the class, but I struck myself struggling a lot. So request all your prayers and blessings so that I also become. Thank you very much. श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।